Ahoy! Today we're making a tier list, but a very subjective one. We're going to make a tier list based on the fun that I personally have playing different gods in Smite. So this is my opinion. This will be very different for many of you because you probably don't play the same gods as I do. But I figured it would be a nice time filler until the next god comes out tomorrow. And yeah, I thought I would enjoy it and maybe you'll enjoy it too. So our ranks here are very obvious. We have the funnest ones, very fun, okay, boring, asleep, and no opinion. No opinions are the ones that I haven't really played that much, the newer ones. So we'll start alphabetically this time and just work our way through. Achilles, I think, is fun. I think what's really fun about it is his execute primarily. The rest of his kit is fairly bland, but the execute itself feels very rewarding to hit, and that's why I would say fun. Agni, I think a lot of people really enjoy Agni. For me personally, it's just okay. Yeah, it's not much to say. It's just alright, like not the worst to play, but just kind of sit in the back most of the time. It's not really my playstyle. AMC, I would say is pretty boring. I don't know. I don't really enjoy much about him. The honey is kind of like spraying the honey around is maybe fun for some people, but it's not. Yeah, not much to him really. Apwash, I actually find relatively fun. I think that like corpse stacking and stuff like that it's a cool and interesting mechanic. Can't really use it as much as you'd like to, but it's also very satisfying when you just blow someone up with the detonate. I think he's towards the fun side, but not super fun either because I think his ult's a bit boring. Amaterasu, probably put her in okay. I'm not gonna bother like sorting throughout the tiers, so it's just like they're on the same level. But yeah, I think Amaterasu also is a relatively plain kid, and the fact that her one is really just swapping stances kind of takes away from it a little bit. But then like the occasional like fun silence or getting a massive stun off can be cool. It's not that cool. And her, I'm not good at. Like, I'm not good at what would make him fun. So for some people, he might be like very fun or funnest. I still think he's fun. I think the pillar mechanic and stuff, it's pretty cool. It would just be more satisfying if I was very good at it, which I'm not. So to me, he's just a fun god because I can't utilize the mechanics to its fullest potential. Anubis, honestly, I would say Anubis is probably kind of fun. Like, yeah, his kit is simplistic and stupid, but just completely frying someone with the combo, you can't say that doesn't feel good, you know? It's like a Poseidon crack, and it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel fun. And you can kind of play mind games with him all the time where you're like, you know, really scaring your opponent because they know you have this one-shot potential. But then, at the same time, when you're not... Actually, I'm gonna take him down with you because when you're not snowballing, if you ever fall behind, he quickly loses all the fun. So I think that's a massive trade-off with him. But yeah, I would say generally towards the funner side. Ao Kuang. I think Ao Kuang is fun. I do enjoy Ao Kuang. It's not my favorite. I think it's just a bit too basic attack focused. Attacks, not attack speedster, but attack steroid and that stuff, which is like makes him a bit more boring than he could be. But his ult's still nice, and overall he's a decent character. Aphrodite, I think I'll put her into boring, and that's like barely. I think it's not much to her. Like, yeah, you have very slow-moving passive abilities, basically. Playing a very defensive playstyle, and the most satisfying thing is pulling off a nice old immunity on an ally, I think. But it's not for me. That's all I can say. And the same is true for Apollo. So this is from the perspective of fun to play for me, not about playing against. So otherwise, Apollo would be very, very low. I will maybe give him okay. And that's cutting it close. If I compare him to AMC, I think he's a little bit more fun to play. Like the disruption with the mez against enemies, I think it's still a stupid mechanic that shouldn't exist in that way on a hunter, but it feels fun to do it to someone else as well. As like you're the scumbag doing it, but it feels fun to be the scumbag to some degree, I guess. So and the ult obviously is a fun ability, so I'll give him an okay, but not more than that. Arachne, I don't know. I would have put her in the fun like in previous times, but it gets old. Like it's like Anubis kind of, where you know you either snowball or you don't, but you're not really doing much. You're really just using your 2 and your 1, and then you just hold left click. So whatever. Aries definitely fun. I'm almost thinking maybe very fun, but I don't play Aries enough to say that he's very fun for me. But I think he's fun. I think the ultimate will always be fun. I think it's fun to chain the chains, and then fry someone with a fire. It's just satisfying. Artemis, I will probably, will I give her okay? I think I'll give her okay. I think she's like, what makes her fun sometimes are the traps and Tusky, of course. So just barely getting okay. Could have slipped into boring as well. Ardeo. I think a lot of people find Ardeo boring. I actually find her fun. I think her kit, like switching between the stances and the potential of the cripple. I think too many people undervalue the cripple, where you just lock someone in place and then they're kind of forced to stick around. I think that's a really fun thing to do, and stance swapping is really fun. And actually, I might actually put her in a very fun. She's very simple, but that doesn't stop her from being very fun to me, because I especially like landing the root on the 3 as well. If someone, you know, it's like in laning phase and they're just sitting behind their minions and you go through the minions and you still hit them. It's very nice when you actually land the root on them. Athena is fun. I think especially the ultimate feels very satisfying, like just the slamming down and also just being able to save an ally last second. I think that's very fun. Taunt feels good. And yeah, I think a damage Athena especially feels fun as well. Willich, my main Once Upon a Time, I would put in a very fun. I think that her kit is one of the best designed kits in the game. It's very unique. It stands out to this day as one of the most unique kits, where you have specific conditions to do your abilities. And pretty much every ability in her kit except her 1 has a condition of some form, like be it hitting basic attacks or hitting from a specific angle or having the enemy knocked out first. And I think that's really cool, and I wish we had more of that. I wish almost all gods were designed like that and were more balanced around that, to be honest. But I think that's what is problem, that she kind of exists in a game where other gods don't have the same constraints. So she constantly has to be balanced around being more of an all-rounder than she'd have to be. Otherwise, if every god was more like her. So like she'll always be like a bursty god, an early game bursty god, for example. Stuff like that, which I think takes away from her unique playstyle a little bit, because you can kind of skip past parts of that at least. I'm not going to put her into funnest for that reason, and also because playing her from behind is very unfun. It's my most played god by far. Like I usually don't play her from behind unless the game is going terrible, but when it does, it's just awful, because she relies on the knock-up from her 3 most of the time, especially in team comps where no one else has knock-up. And if the enemies are pressuring you, it's not fun. It's never going to be fun in that situation. Baba Yaga. I think Baba Yaga is fun. I think Baba Yaga's kit is not super fun in itself. Like, I think it's messy. It's messy on purpose, obviously, with all the randomness and whatnot. But I don't think that's necessarily good god design. But I still think it's fun. I think the feeling of a 3, like popping out with a 3, is very satisfying. I think the ultimate being in the house is very satisfying. So I think she is still a fun god. Bacchus is absolutely a very fun god. I'm almost putting it to funnest, because locking people up with a jump, having like super high damage on an ult, and then the disorient, and then the character's personality along with that, like it just all goes together. I don't think there's anything that's negative about Bacchus. Like the only reason I'm not putting it into funnest is because I'm not playing him that much that I would say this is like a funnest god for me. Bakasura. I enjoy Bakasura. Bakasura has a simple, like Bakasura is a god that I play when I have a high chance of winning a game and I want to turn my brain off. He doesn't have the most complex kit. but I think he's fun. I think I wouldn't quite put him into very fun. It's very, well, at the same time, maybe I will. I don't know. So the thing is that I think it's very satisfying to shred through a team with his ultimate, which is relatively rare nowadays. Like, it can still happen, but people are not more aware of what Bakasura is capable of than they used to be. So it's not quite as frequent that you'll actually have those situations, unless maybe you're playing Arena or something. I don't know. Australian servers don't have Arena anymore, so yeah. I will say that at this angle, at this time, I would say he's a fun god. Baron Samedi. To me personally, Baron Samedi is one of the funnest gods in the game. That's not like... This is very much acknowledging that his kit is simple, and that like most of his abilities are designed to be relatively easy to hit and beginner friendly, but the personality, the voice lines, all that is really cool. I like the animations, I like the feelings of the abilities hitting, the sound effects, super satisfying on every single one of his abilities, and like the mind games that you can play with the ultimate, the passive that weaves nicely into everything else, the combo potential that he has. And he's like, for example, like different from a village. Like you can be ahead or behind. He's always gonna feel fun. So, and yeah, I guess unless you're getting completely stumped, because then you can just get run down because you don't have significant mobility. But I also like that he can be played in different roles, different play styles. Yeah, he's just one of the funnest gods to me personally. Bastet, I don't really play much Bastet. I think she's okay. I don't think she's like super fun. Like I used to play her a lot in the beginning because she's easy to learn. That was back when her kit was like not reworked at all. But since then, when I learned other assassins, I basically stopped touching with that. I think it's nice like when you jump in on a combo someone, but it's not impressive. Bellona I will always consider fun, at least. Probably at some point even very fun. I think she's like just very nicely designed with her different weapons. Also very satisfying, the two, especially if you hit multiple people with it. I should say she was one of the big standouts god when she was released. Not only because she was broken, but also because she was fun. Cabrakan, very fun. Maybe even funnest. Somewhere between there. I mean, slamming someone with Cabrakan will never get old. Yeah, it's simple, but again, simple and fun. Like Artio, like Baron Samedi. It's just... the ultimate is nice. It feels really good. It feels really satisfying to lock someone in. Again, the personality that comes along with it. This like overly angry guy all the time. Also funny. Like everything about him is fun to a very high degree. But I think Baron Samedi in comparison has like a little bit more complexity, which puts him a little bit higher. Camazotz, I don't know. I think for me personally, he's one of the least fun assassins. I will give him like okay, but just barely. I don't know. I think his reliance on like he never felt like a true assassin to me. Basically, he always felt like a bruiser, half solo thing, but then also relies on single target abilities or line abilities. It always felt weird to me. It's just not a god for me personally. But I don't think he's terrible, and I think like combing the ult can still be nice. Cerberus, I would say also okay. He's like, you know, in some ways he's similar to Aries, but I think Aries does things in a little bit more style than Cerberus does. Cerberus is just a bit safer in what he does, but also a bit more boring because of it. Kronos, I don't even know, like... I don't think Kronos has many redeeming qualities. I mean, I'm obviously going to put a lot of Hunters down here because it's really not a role that I enjoy, but... His old transforming people, yeah, okay, but... I don't even think that his abilities feel satisfying to hit, and his one is just annoying to use, so... Not a fan. Chuck... I mean, I think can't go wrong with Chuck. He's simple. He's like very cool in terms of character and personality. I think that pushes him up in fun a bit, but yeah, he's just a safe basic pick basically. Changa. Now this one, I think a lot of people don't enjoy Changa. I actually enjoy Changa. I think Changa is fun. I think like dancing and weaving through the team fight in a way that not many other gods are really able to is fun. Hitting a fat ult where you stun multiple people for a long time. That type of stuff. Yeah, actually they kind of changed the ult, but whatever. Yeah, I think she's a fun god to play. Chernobyl. The only redeeming quality Chernobyl has to me, because I don't think his ult is like satisfying at all. I think it's annoying, but it's not satisfying. The only redeeming quality that he has to me is the combo between the 2 and 1. That's it. Or 1 and 2, but whatever. See, that's how little I play him, because I don't even know which order they're in. Dashing into a wall, maybe. Dashing into a wall can be cool as well. Using that immunity. That's maybe cool. So he would be like, if we were sorting in the tier, he would probably be ahead of AMC, but yeah, still not very high. Chiron I like a bit better. I actually think Chiron is one of the funnest hunters to play. I'm biased towards ability-based hunters, of course. But I think the ultimate is very nice. And like the damage combos are nice. I don't really play him, but I still think he's fun. Kronos is okay. I don't really have much to say about him. Feels decent enough. It's not my favorite. It's okay. Cthulhu, I think is fun. I think for a lot of people, Cthulhu is probably higher. It's probably very fun, or maybe even funnest. I personally don't enjoy him that much, but also, definitely don't hate a guy that can go massive and throw things around and whatnot. I think it is inherently designed to be fun. And again, also a character that is very well designed, other than that, like personality-wise and all that. Kukulin, I would also say is fun, especially the ultimate, the transform as well and all that. The rage management, I think that's enjoyable. Maybe actually, no, in terms of solos, I think Kukulin is very fun. I don't really play him that much, but if I am forced into solo and I have to pick something serious, that would be probably my go-to. Cupid, I think the hard bomb stuff will always be fun. As annoying as the character is, I think like the stun bombs and the ultimate and all that. That's cool. And I also like the unique effect of just having ability that heals your allies. It's not something you see often on a hunter. It's especially fun in modes outside of Conquest. Daji, I don't really enjoy her. I think the chains are fun. The ultimate is fun, but other than that, I don't know. I never really warmed up with Daji all too much. Just a bit too, like, build around attack cancels only, which has always been kind of boring to me. Like, I don't like gods that just do this one mechanic to be effective and that's it. Danzaburo, I think Danzaburo is at least okay. I'm almost tempted to put him into fun. I will put him in fun. I think Danzaburo is fun. I don't play him, not at all basically, but I think he's fun. I think his abilities are designed in a very fun way. Split projectiles, drunkenness, and the rocket, of course, that you can ride. Like, that's all very fun. I would almost put him into very fun, but then I feel like I should at least play him a little bit to put him into very fun. But yeah, no, I think Danzaburo is fun in design. I think Discordia is actually fun too. I think especially her 2, but also her ultimate feel fun, feel good. Again, a god that I don't play much, but I would rate relatively highly. Erlang Shen, honestly just okay. It's an easy god, and it's a good god. Like, if I want to win, then I probably pick Erlang. Although I don't actually know how he performs now. I haven't played him post stone cutting nurse, but I don't think his kit is like that fun when I think about it. The thing, at the same time, maybe I put him above Daji and stuff. Nah. Yeah, I think he's slightly more fun than Daji, actually, between like his aggressive dash option and his root. But like, he's like end of fun tier. Fafnir, fun. I like transforming into a dragon. I like the satisfaction of hitting the 1 to stun people. That's fun. I enjoy it. Fenrir, I enjoy the ult. I enjoy stunning people as well with the 1. So I think it's like towards the bottom end of fun as well. Freya. I think Freya's boring. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Freya players, but I don't like Freya. You just like holding left click and maybe banishing someone occasionally. Maybe not if you don't want to annoy your teammates, and then if you get in trouble, you ult. Or if you want to finish someone off, you ult, and that's it. I get maybe the fun of like managing all that, but for me personally, just meh. Whatever. Ganesh. Ganesh is gonna go up to maybe even very fun. Not the biggest Ganesh play, but I think for a support, he's very fun. I think like the gifting assists mechanic is cool. Gifting kills, rather. I really like the silence, like the way that you can utilize that in various ways. And I also like the ultimate, of course. Especially like the combo of the 3 and the ultimate. I think that's what really makes them fun. Like if you can lock someone down on the edge of the ult, that's just the most satisfying thing in the game, really, because suddenly you're doing massive damage as a tank. Or if you build them in damage, then you're doing even more massive damage and you just one-shot people. But yeah, I think Ganesh is actually fun. Very fun. Geb. I kind of like Geb. I think Geb's fun. I really like, especially like mainly the shielding. Like the ult's fun as well, but mainly the shielding and just getting people out of CCs unexpectedly. I think that's very enjoyable. And also rolling around as a rock is fun, and his character's personality is really, really fun. Guan Yu is simple, but it's especially fun to ride around on the horse. So I really like that part. And yeah, I also like that he's like, I like how he plays, how he's like this utility, help your team warrior type that we don't really have that many of. Hachiman. See, he also has a horse, but he makes the horse really unfun in comparison. And yeah, I don't know. Hachiman doesn't really have much going for him that I enjoy. The ranged basics are kind of cool, I guess. And the 3 stun. Yeah, I'll give him okay. But yeah, I personally don't like him that much, but I think he's like okay enough. Hades. I think he's fun. It's not the most fun in the fun category, but I think the ult will always be fun. I think if you can actually bait out some escapes and then you pull people in and they're all stuck there screaming for their lives and you're just like, oh, by the way, I'm chilling here with like extra mitigations. That's a thing. I think that's never not gonna be fun. And like his lane aggression, even though it's not what it used to be, is also fun for a very like beefy character. Even though he's a mage. But I like that he plays so different from the other mages. Habois is also fun. I like, obviously, his burst potential, his ultimate is 1. But also his stuff sometimes gets a little old because kind of just doing the same thing most of the time. Heimdall. I think Heimdall is among the more fun hunters. But I think I'll put him with Hachiman. I know I said I like ability-based hunters, but I feel like I never warmed up with Heimdall quite as much as with some of the others. So yeah, I'll put him in okay. Hell, I think he's also okay. I don't know. Hell kind of lost her charm for me over time. It's, I'm not quite sure what it is actually. Like, maybe it's just the fact that like, her 3, it's just kind of, it feels like you just relying on it so much and it's such a plain ability. But I can't say for sure. Hera, I don't find Hera fun. I'm sorry. I think it's like Argus doing a lot of the work for you anyways. And then the rest of the kit is not particularly exciting. Yeah, that's a polymorph. But other than that, you have a shield and some damage with a unique targeter. Nah. I think it's boring. Herc, his combo is obviously very satisfying, the 2-1. But then beyond that, I feel like he's a bit on the less exciting side for me. I know this is also something that a lot of people will enjoy him more than I do. I know a lot of people really like the the pull dash combos that you can do with them, or if you throw in the blink or whatever, the snipes that you can hit with the ultimate. It's just never been for me. Horus, okay. I think his base kit is not particularly interesting. It's nice when you can save someone with a 3 though. And I think the ultimate is obviously nice. Like crash landing somewhere is cool. Yi is fun because of his geometry. Like, it honestly is just the one that makes him fun. Like, just the bounces, the potential that has. Maybe, I think to some degree I also like the whole combo thing of going, like, marking someone and then jumping on them. And then bouncing them and stuff like that. The fuller combo, or like dropping the ult in between as well. Yeah, I think that all makes him fun. Hunbatsu is fun. I don't think Hunbatsu is like very fun, to be honest. I play Hunbatsu a lot, and I enjoy playing Hunbatsu for what he offers, and I really enjoy his like personality and all that. But I think his kit is not the most fun when you think about it. Like, his 3 is kind of cool, but everything else is like a leap and a lot of AoE damage here and there. But that doesn't stop me from putting him into fun, at least. Like, I just feel like they could do a little bit more with his kit to make it more interesting, like outside of the ult still. I know they don't want to because the ult is so strong. But yeah, but at the same time, the ult's also very satisfying. So like, I wouldn't argue if someone else says no, but actually he's very fun. I'd be like, yeah, no, that's fine with me. ESET is okay. Don't find it super fun because like the way that you utilize the ult is kind of iffy, annoying, but also not bad. Spirit balls feel very nice when they connect. Izanami, kind of boring. Use the farm bot most of the time, and half of a kit feels like it's just different variations of ranged line attacks. Okay, Janos. I don't like playing Janos, but I think for people that enjoy playing him, he's really, really fun. So I'll give him okay. I don't like him as a god, but I acknowledge that his portal and all that stuff and the ultimate and the snipes and whatnot will be very fun for people that enjoy playing mages in general. We have who I reserved this tier for. I have no idea why people are willing to put themselves through playing Jingwei. It's like, you sit in lane and farm and play passive and farm and play passive and farm and eventually you wait until your opponent goes out of lane and win lane, because you can't lose lane basically, and that's it. If that's your type of thing, I guess it's the same with Aphrodite kind of, but no, Aphro can't really push towers the same way. Like, good for you, it's just not for me. Yorm, I think he's reasonably fun. I think it's okay. Like, the ultimate is fun. The rest of his kit is like, yeah, if you can get the pulls down, you get the combo with the 2, that's cool. Okay, sneak attack with the 3, but most of the time, it doesn't really happen that much. Kali, maybe fun. Yeah, I think fun. I honestly think that the target mechanic that she has is very rewarding, very satisfying. She's also a nicely designed character. And yeah, I think that's enough for me to say that she's at least fun. Doesn't have to be the funnest, but yeah, she is a left-click lawnmower, but that's not inherently unfun if the rest of the kit kind of supplements that in a good way, and I think it does. So yeah, fun. Capri, saving people like that is always going to be fun. Could almost go very fun as well here, but I think he's a bit too passive for my taste. Like, I don't really like sitting in the back line as a Guardian, even though his kit otherwise is very satisfying. It's old especially. King Arthur, I mean, I could just, watch an episode of Beyblade instead. Same result. It's not bad. It's not boring, but it's also not super fun. Like, I feel like the idea that originally was there with him was like that you'll have a lot of depth because of all the different abilities that you utilize, but I feel like most of the time you're not really going to do that. I think you can get away too easily with spamming a lot of stuff. So that depth never really came fully. Kukulkan. Oh, I don't even see. The only thing that saves him from the spot right next to the Jingwei is that his old snipes feel kind of nice. The laning phase with this guy is such a snooze fest. Like, I can't give him any more credit than this. Like, even though the snipes can feel nice, and even I don't even like Kukulkan snipes all too much because they're kind of slow. See, technically, this is where Kumbhakana belongs, right? Practically, I actually think Kumbhakana is fun. So I'm gonna put him into fun. I think it's kind of trolly in a fun way. I would almost maybe put him into very fun. Maybe. Actually, he's super annoying for the enemy, obviously, but I do think it's very satisfying how you can just deny. No, I'm actually going to put him into very fun. Like, I think as much as he's frustrating for the enemy, it's super fun how much he can deny pretty much everything to like the people that he's focusing, and that feels very satisfying from a support's perspective. And since I enjoy playing support, that is something that I enjoy, as much as I know that it causes misery to the person that has to deal with it. Kuzenbo. We're going up. I think Kuzenbo is one of the funnest cards in Smite. I think he has so many like unique fun things. Like every ability in his kit offers something unique that other gods don't do in the same way. And he is funny like as a character as well. I think the only thing that I wish was a little bit different was the ultimate, because like the ultimate, I don't like that it's like pushing people away. If that was like sucking people in, obviously that would be too strong in his current state, but like something like that, I think that would feel more fun. But that's like the only thing I would say that the only complaint that I would have with him. Overall, I think he's an extremely fun character to play. And I should play him more. Loki. I think Loki's fun. I think he's not like super fun. I don't know how people can like play him forever and ever and ever. I think that would get dull. But I do think that his kit offers enough unique things, enough fun things to play around with. And yeah. I like the stealth. I like the ult. I like the 2. There's enough in there. Like, I would maybe even put him higher if I was playing more, but I'm not really playing him that much, so. Like, compared to, say, Bakasura or Kaldi, I think his kit obviously has more depth and, like, could be considered more fun. But, I mean, at the same time with Bakasura and Kaldi, you can just run through a team in a way that Loki just doesn't, so, yeah. Bit of both. Medusa. I think Medusa is the funnest hunter. For me, personally. I really like the dash, even though it can be like clunky. I really like the ult, especially the AoE. And I even like the mechanic on the 2, even though I always kind of dislike the range. But yeah, I like the 1 as well. I like actually literally everything about it because the 1 is such a nice attack cancel. What I would say is that I'm curious to see what happens with her position now that Ishtar's coming out, because they are in some ways very similar when it comes to AoE capabilities and CC and aggression and whatnot. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I do really enjoy Medusa. Mercury. I used to really dislike playing Mercury, but he kind of grew on me. So I would say he's fun. I think the ultimate is especially fun. 3, kind of fun. The rest, kind of okay. So, yeah. I do actually think that he's a decently designed, fun god. Just not my personal favorite. Merlin. I don't know. I don't really like playing Merlin. I think he's okay. But I don't know. The 3 stances always felt misplaced to me somehow, so I never really bothered learning him. Plus, I don't really play mid-mages very much, so nah, it's alright. Milan. I don't know. I think she's like around the same place as Amaterasu. Honestly, like with Mulan, I feel like if her abilities started the way they are when you fully stack the passive, and then they just tweaked the damage numbers and stuff instead and gave her a new passive, she would feel more fun. Like, for example, being able to pull to walls from level 1. The fact that you have to unlock all that stuff first, I don't know, it just seems like an annoying mechanic. I don't like it. Neath. Neath is okay on the grounds of full ability damage one-shot Neath. That's just satisfying when you like almost one-shot someone from base with the right items. That is always going to be fun. Other than that, I don't really care for her playstyle very much. Nemesis. I think Nemesis is fun. I think like the protection shred is really cool. I think the shield cancels are fun. It's funny how I complained about cancels before. Now I'm talking about cancels being fun. But I don't know. It feels satisfying with Nemesis because of the shield sound, I think. And then you have the reflect as well, obviously. Yeah, and the double dash is also kind of cool. Naja? I think Naja is also fun. I think the old feels very fun. I think the one feels very fun. And I don't know, there's something about the 3, as much as it's like kind of a slowish, clunky ability. Somehow it feels satisfying. Nike. I don't know. She's kind of okay, I guess. Maybe even boring. I don't know. But like, I think a base kick is just not that cool. I mean, the projectile block is nice. I like that part, but I feel like it's not that many situations where you actually can use it effectively. The ult's nice, but it's also nothing special. Kind of like Chalk. So, yeah, I think it's okay. Nox. Don't hate me for this. I think Nox is fun. I think the silence and the root feel very satisfying to use, and especially the ultimate. I actually like the ultimate the most. And I also like the 3, like dashing into other players and then being a shadow. I think those are all very cool mechanics. I actually think she has a lot of unique things going for her, but she gets a lot of hate because of her performance outside of Conquest, where she just freely spams her silences. But she's got non-Conquest nerfs now, so maybe that offsets that. Nua. I mean, I don't know. It's like the clay minion detonation feels kind of fun. And like obviously the ult. Dropping the ult on people feels kind of fun. But that's it. I'm barely giving her okay. Close to saying boring. Odin. It's okay. Bird Bomb's fun, Cage is fun, but it's not like super exciting or anything. It's not really that much to his kit, especially because Bird Bomb essentially takes up 2 abilities anyways if you're using it. Overrun. It's not for me. I don't know. This is like... There's nothing about his kit that I would say I like when I think about it. I think his ult is stupid. It shouldn't exist. And the rest of his kit is not very interesting. Not that he's a basic attack character, like ranged basic attack character, so it's not really something that I'm particularly sold on. Sorry, Oleron. Osiris. I used to really enjoy Jungle Osiris when it was not meta, and you could surprise people with it. It was really, 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 really fun then. It's less fun now. I think he still gets fun, but it's just... I think the 1-2 chaining and like sticking like glue to an enemy in combination with the eventual potential to stun them, I think that's nice. I think that's fun. But yeah, his ult, for example, doesn't feel super satisfying, even though the sound with it is kind of nice. Pele, I'd say fun. I think Pele. Actually, maybe very fun. I really like the effects and the character design of Pili. I think that offsets a bit like over some of the other characters. Like there's no weak point in her abilities. I would say that any of them is boring, but I do think that some abilities are not as fun as some of the others here, but then it's made up for by the personality. So yeah, I like Pili. I like her design as well. Persephone. I am not sure. I think our ultimate will probably push her into fun. I like her new kit. I like the way it feels for the most part, even though I do think that parts of her old kit, slightly more complexity, could be implemented. Like I think if you get like a bit of a mashup of the old kit and the new kit, then she would like maybe even be very fun. I think neither the current kit nor the old kit alone would achieve that, but if you can like blend them well, then she could maybe be very fun. And yeah, I think the old also is a major factor. Also cool god in terms of design. Nice audio effects as well, like the bone shattering, all that stuff. Poseidon, I mean, he's saved by the Kraken, but the Kraken is just fun. Everything else about this kit is just okay, but the Kraken is fun enough to put him into fun for me. Like if you get that off at a team fight, it's just huge and fun. Ragin, to me, is one of the more fun mages. I just like the one. I like it's a character again where the sound design is really cool, and yeah, he's just like banging his drum on the one, and that fits cool. I like the 3 especially as well, like jumping on an enemy and seeing them. Like I like this aggressive playstyle that you can do with them. I think I don't like the ultimate that much. I don't like how the projectile travels and how clunky it feels and how slow you feel. But I think I like the rest of his kit. Ram is definitely going to be fun. Just for the snipes. Like, it's just super, super satisfying. And I don't really care for the rest of his stuff because it's just a plain basic attack hunter in many ways. But the snipes are, much like Poseidon, what saves him, the ultimate alone. And as we're speaking of snipes, we have Ra. Ra is also going to be fun for his snipes. I actually think that like Ra is also fun because of his movement speed increases and stuff. And I like his one as well. But yeah, especially the ultimate snipes will be what pushes him up here. Red Tusker. I think the ult's kind of fun. I think the stun is very satisfying. But I also think that the funnest Red Tusker ever was when he was released with the old Acons. I know they were not balanced, they were broken, it was ridiculous, infinite dashes, almost infinite dashes, it's not okay. But hear me out, it was fun. We're like different from Persephone, I would not say merge the kits together, it's probably not gonna go well, but it was fun. And then he went through many iterations that brought him in a new place. And I think they've added some new fun-ish mechanics. But nothing will ever beat like the dashing, the double dashing, triple dashing, whatnot, red with crit dashes and whatnot. So yeah. I also think Raven is fun. Very plain kit overall. Very simple and easy to hit. But a good juke with the 2 is very satisfying. And the ultimate is just extremely satisfying as a whole. Like just slamming to the ground, very nice sound effect. And also a character that has like a cool voice and all that along with it. So overall, fun. Now Scylla, I know like Scylla technically from the same standard as the others here, as Poseidon here, I would have to put her into fun, but I just don't enjoy Scylla. Like I acknowledge that she is fun in design for others. It's just something about a kit that I never liked. I don't know if it's the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or all 3 together. But, well, I also don't like the whole personality. Like, I don't even know why they had to make her a kid in the first place. Yeah, no, it's just not for me. She's okay. Others will find her very fun. I know that. Just not for me. Circuit. Weirdly, I know that a lot of people enjoy like the high escape potential, but it kind of bothers me when I play, actually. I think it feels cheap. And she's also very single target. Like spreading the poison is kind of cool when it happens, but it's not a frequent occurrence. Outside of that, I don't find her as difficult as other people find her, but I also don't find her as fun as other people find her. So she's just there for me. Like if I feel like playing Saket, I'll play Saket, but it's not something I would regularly feel like doing. Unlike Set, which I think is fun. I enjoy Set. I like the teleportation. I like the ultimate. And I especially like the one. I think like the aiming the clones stuff, I think that's very cool. And also a very well-designed character. Nice voice. I used to use it, or maybe I still have it right now. I don't even know. The announcer pack for Set for a very long time. Very edgy, but nice. Skadi. Kind of like Hera in like way too pet dependent, but a little bit more fun because making people slide on the ice is very fun. So that pushes her up to okay for me. I don't like the rest of her kit, but the ice is fun. Sobek. Up. I think Sobek's very fun. It's one of my most played Guardians. I think as much I feel like I'm like for like until like Mastery 7 or so, I missed the vast majority of my plugs with Sobek, and I haven't played him in a while, so I'll probably be terribly rusty. I probably miss every plug now, but even then, I don't know. It's just something about him. He also has really like a really fun design and like funny voice lines and all that, especially Pirate Sobek. So I think he has a special place in my heart. Also really like the ult. I don't even know what it is, but I like the feeling like when you baited someone's escape and you are in the ult under them and you know they're not going to be able to get away. And then it's like this race against time, basically, to see like maybe they have something that can get them out anyways. Maybe they have an Aegis, maybe they have beats or something. And I don't know, it's always like a little bit of a thrill when you're using the ult, so I really like that. Sol's okay. I like her better than some of the other like magical ADCs or ADCs in general, I think, because she feels a little bit more ability based and she has like very chunky attacks. The 2 feels very satisfying sound effects and the ultimate. So that gives her a little bit more fun elements. And I like the immunity from the 3. I think that's cool when you can kind of bait that a bit. But also 2 basic attack, range basic attack focus for me to be more fun than that. Sun Wukong. I guess this is like kind of a bit biased if I put him like lower-ish. Where'd I put Erlang? Can't even see him. Yeah, I put Erlang into fun. I feel like Sun Wukong, like Sun Wukong is just Erlang, but more ability-based, I guess. And less basic attack focused. Both have their means of self-preservation in the ult. They both have some like ranged poke. They both have their transformation. But I can't say I find Sun Wukong particularly fun to play, to be honest. I think the only thing that I think about him is kind of fun is maybe the bull. The bull and hitting someone at range with a 1. I'm like somewhere between it. Maybe I'll give him okay. Like he's above. Yeah, he's above these cards when I look at them. Like he's okay, but not fun. Susano for me personally also just okay. I don't find him that fun. Again, he just revolves too much around his attack cancels, and it's just yeah, okay. We can do attack cancels. That's great. But what else do you do? And I don't really like what else he does. Silvanos. I think it's fun. I think being able to like do pulls without the 1 when you can pull them off just feels super satisfying. And the rest of his kit feels like nice enough to be okay. Like the ult especially feels satisfying if you blink ult. And yeah, it's cool that you can heal your allies. I like that. And a decent personality the dialogue between him and Grover is cool. Terra, I think some people find Terra really fun. I find her okay. It's not terrible, but also doesn't offer anything that I particularly enjoy. Like smashing the 3 with your dash is nice. The ultimate is nice. That's it. Thanatos, I think it's fun. Ult's very satisfying. Well-timed 3 can be satisfying. A well-placed, well-aimed 1 can be satisfying. Frustration is much bigger when the 1 misses, though. But I would say it's fun. Morrigan. Fun. I think her base kit, to me, like, it has some, I wouldn't say issues, but rather it has some ways that encourage play styles that I don't enjoy that much. Whereas, obviously, when she can transform into everyone, that's very fun. But most of the time, you're still going to be using her base kit, and that, I think, is okay-ish to funish, but not more than that. Whereas during the old, it's obviously super fun because you can be anyone. Thor, okay or boring? I think he's okay. He's got a nice kit. He's got some decent abilities. Old's obviously satisfying, but also as one of the oldest gods, like at some point, I feel like most junglers reach the point where they've just seen enough of Thor. For me, that was pretty early. Like Thor was a god that I didn't want to play for much longer than I had to, and much later I kind of came back to him. I was like, oh, let's play Thor a little bit, but yeah, it's not my primary choice. Thor, I don't enjoy. Like, I think his snipes feel so unsatisfying compared to Ras, and he's such a safe long distance character. I don't really know what would stand out. Like, again, I know that, for example, Flair that's like one of his favorite gods, if not his favorite god, but like for me, it's just not my playstyle. Tyr is probably fun. I think Tyr, you know, does what Herc does, but in a simpler, easier to apply way that makes it more reliable and that feels more fun because you know it's going to happen most of the time. And positioning yourself in a good way with Tyr to pull off a mass push/pull is just very, very satisfying. Uller, I think he's okay. I don't really like Uller that much. I think, I don't know, it's something about like half of his kit, not half of his kit, a favorite of his kit just being self buffs. And then he's like so single combo reliant. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I feel like, considering that he's a stand stopper, there could be more that could be done with Uller's kit, but I don't think they would ever do that because Uller has a lot of fans in the community. Vaman, Once upon a time, I would have put him into very fun. I think now I just put him into fun. Ult's obviously very fun. 1 is pretty fun. I think the 2 and 3 are not that fun, but yeah, the ult's enough to put him in this category for me. Vulcan, okay. This is a god that I think I would really enjoy if I was to play mid-mages, because I think the ultimate is just in itself a very satisfying concept, but I just don't like the whole turret thing. This kind of takes away from the character as a whole. I don't know. His playstyle is kind of, I guess spammy is not the right word, but to annoy the enemy with very persistent poke. And I don't really like playing like that. Shibalanke, I don't know. Maybe yeah. The ult does just barely saves him, but I don't like his base kit very much. It's not much in it for me. Like, yeah, Comboing like the 2 into the 3. That's cool. That's about it. That's not enough. Xingtian. Fun. Their ult alone, such a satisfying thing. I also actually like the 2 a lot as well. I like the way that it locks down enemies. And like the scream through the wave, if you hit an enemy through the wave, even though the range is relatively short. I think that's fun. Juking stuff with a 3. Yeah, I think it's fun. Yemoja. Maybe fun. I do think that she has a very unique and interesting kit. I also really like the character design, voice lines and all that. So yeah, I'll give her fun. Ult's obviously satisfying. And yeah, no, I think a lot of her abilities are actually pretty unique and cool. I would maybe even place her higher if I played her more. Ymir, I don't really enjoy Ymir that much. I gotta be honest. I think his kit is kind of boring. I think the wall's cool, but everything else is kind of just meh. Yeah, as someone who likes supports and who likes aggressive supports, I don't really know why I don't like Ymir, but I feel like it's mainly his ult. I feel like his ult feels so unsupporty, and in late game he's so reliant on playing around the wall. And I feel like that's just not enough for me personally. Zeus, okay. He can be satisfying sometimes because, you know, it's just big damage and that part is fun. But when that's not happening, then I feel like he doesn't have that much. And his abilities in themselves aren't particularly interestingly designed or something. Shankui, I would say is fun. I like the ultimate especially here. I like the control that you have over a team fight with it. But I think his other like combinations of abilities also feel satisfying. Just the scrolls into either of the others. I like that. And also like his character design and voice lines. Tsukuyomi, I would say is fun. I mean, his anime style ult, obviously, pretty fun. His 2, I actually really like his 2. Like the CC after the side swipes. And then, yeah, the caltrops, I don't really like them. They're kind of dull, but I like what you can do with the caltrops, I guess, when you like force someone to go through them or face you, essentially. That's kind of cool, I guess. And I mean, that's all they're supposed to do. And then his 1 also feels nice. So yeah, I think it's fun. Gilgamesh. Probably fun. Is he fun? Yeah, he's fun. Drop kicking people feels really fun. I think that's mainly the big one. Ultimate in combination with drop kicking, especially. The jump is also okay. A cool character design. Morgan Le Fay. I don't know. I think she's okay. Not for me. Like, she's just very, very archetypical mage, and that's why I personally don't like her that much. Tiamat, not so archetypical. I think Tiamat is at least fun. Yeah. I think before all her changes, she may have actually been very fun, but she was kind of like cornered in her playstyle a fair bit, and I don't really like that aspect, so now she's fun, but yeah. The original days of solo Tiamat, that felt very fun. And now we're getting to the gods where I'm just like, there's a few of these that I really haven't touched yet because I still want to make like a playing them for the first time video, so I really don't have much of a feel for them yet. Atlas, I'm not going to give any opinion because of that. Charybdis, I don't like. I find her relatively uninteresting. Like, her ults may be cool, I guess. Like, I don't know, the whole maw mechanic and all that, it's just, It's just something that didn't vibe with me from the start. It looks cool, but it doesn't feel like something that I would enjoy, and yeah, haven't really seen any reason to play her. The Jade Emperor. I always forget his name. Yeah, haven't played. Still wait. Like, this is one they're still like holding off on touching entirely. And clear now. What I've seen so far, I would say, is at least fun. I think she's got very unique, interesting abilities. I'd have to learn to use them properly, which I haven't really had. Like, I haven't really spent enough time on her, but I think she's at least fun. Lancelot. Initially, I thought he was going to be really fun. Like, my first impression of him was so positive, and I don't really know what happened. But I feel like a lot of his like clunkiness kind of came to show, and that kind of made me like him less. Maybe he'll grow on me still. Like, maybe if I play him more, I'll rate him higher. But at the moment, I'm not really a fan. Even though his kit has some very cool and unique mechanics, technically, just practically, I don't really feel them the way you'd expect. Actually, was the same one. Still holding off on that. That is it. Let's see what we got in terms of. Okay, we got 2 in funnest. I thought it would actually end up being more, but yeah, fair enough. We have a lot of guardians in very fun. Shows how my playstyle has shifted over time. We actually have a lot of guards in fun as well, which is good. So like, looks like I generally enjoy a lot of guards, or at least consider them fun, even if I don't personally enjoy them. But then also a lot of gods in okay. I think a lot of gods in okay are the gods that I personally don't enjoy that much, but other people do enjoy a lot. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're badly designed. They're just maybe not for me. And then boring is where a lot of the like archetypical hunters and mages end up, because they're just not my playstyle. I just don't enjoy it. And the same is most certainly true for this tier. So yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell. And next, we're going to talk about the new god. Hopefully today we're going to take a closer look, otherwise tomorrow, at the in-game mechanics and all that. So if you want to see that, stick around for that tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next one soon. SLOTH out.